coverage of the Section 6AA Gymnastics meet. From Edina High School, John Jacobson and Debbie Rasmussen. You see the names Edina and Hopkins up on your screen. Those are the teams expected to contend for the team title today and earn their team a spot in next week's state meet.
You know, we were talking with both sets of coaches earlier to the meet and watching the girls during some warm-ups and stuff. And this meet will come down to tenths of points. We are going to be looking for, 5 up, 5 solid routines, stuck landings, because they are so incredibly close. Every single score and point is going to count, 10th point, 100th of a point, if you can say that. But it is definitely going to be a nail biter, and we've done this now, John, for a few years together, and we always talk about how meets can be won or lost on the balance beam because it's, 4 inches wide, 4 feet off the floor, and one fall. And then, that can set the pace for things to maybe fall apart for some teams. Sometimes teams can rally and they're like, okay, we're going to hit the next gymnasts that are going to go up. But we like to say that, it can definitely come down to who scores better on the balance beam.
You can see the different schools represented there. A total of 7 teams that are in this meet, and we'll get the march in here in just a few moments. They'll introduce all the gymnasts that are competing in today's meet. In addition to a team champion being crowned, we'll also have individuals that will advance to state. The state meet has both a team component on next Friday and then the individual next Saturday night. And the individual top 3 all-rounders go, and then the top 3 individuals outside of those all-rounders in each apparatus also advance on to state. So
and
won't
that's
just be the same girls in every event.
And that's, sometimes makes it nice. We've got Wayzata out here, which usually is a contender. Their numbers are a little bit down this year, but they have a couple gals that possibly could make it in individual. So even if your team doesn't maybe stand a chance to move on, you can as an individual. And I think that's what's really fun also about, the sport of gymnastics, when you're not going to be up there for the team competition, but you're going to rally with your team to help push that one girl maybe that could make it into the state meet from your team. Now,
St. Louis Park, another school that's in this competition today, they've got some girls that can make it on to state as well. But as you look at the team points for the year and their score averages, it's clear 1 and 2, Hopkins and Edina. One of those teams will be advancing on to state. As you mentioned, Hopkins has been there before quite recently. They've won this section the last 3 years after not having made it for about 14 seasons before that. For Edina, last time they've advanced to state as a team, 1985.
No. Seriously? Oh, how exciting for the Edina team to, be standing so close to getting there. Wow, I did not know that.
These teams met during the season, Edina and Hopkins. Edina won, but by a fraction of a point, and it could come down to that again, as Deb mentioned right off the top, of how close we may end up being today between the Hornets and the Royals for the team championship.
Hopkins has been in this situation against Wayzata basically for the last few years. You wonder if that will be an advantage for nerve-wise, because they've been here. It's come down to sometimes Hopkins and Wayzata. Edina coming so close, will they have the drive to have the adrenaline and score really well, or will their nerves get a hold of them and stuff too?
We are ready for the team march-in of all of our teams competing in today's meet. Let's go to that now.
Will advance to the state gymnastics meet next weekend at the University of Minnesota. Online tickets for the state meet are available at mshsl.org/tickets. And now let's meet the Section 6AA teams competing today. now let's meet the gymnasts, beginning with our hosts, the Hornets of Edina High School. Edina's gymnasts are Elin Asmussen, Claire Paul, Lizzie Ruder, Harlow Williams, Ellen Duray, Ella Bastili, Elise Klein, Eloise Anderson, and Lila Schwallen. Coaches of the Hornets are Caitlin Peterson, Sophia Flayani, and Lizzie Dalkey. Head coach is Megan Kuhlman. Now let's meet the gymnasts from Hopkins High School. Emma Tavernier, Maya Sanchez, Michaela Moskowitz, Aria Berglund, Vivian Kraling, Captain Lily Hofter, Captain Addison Walters, Marique McLean, Naya Simone Brett, Olivia Magdalena, Bryndia Jensen, Analia Jennings. Assistant coaches are Delaney Ferns and Veronica Vecina. Head coaches are Megan Kump and Emily Hogan. Now, let's meet the gymnasts from Minneapolis, Camden, Edison North. Caitlin Brogdon, Jalen Hubbard, Sky Johnson, Reese Riley, Janiyah Smith, Annabelle Hazen Dish, and Denver Shavers. Assistant coach is Lisa Wallace, and head coach is Crystal Porter. Now let's meet the gymnasts from Minneapolis, South Roosevelt. Nora Salcedo Mata, Sarah Salcedo Mata, Julia Kelly, Audrey Wiesens, Madeline Williams, Rose Jarman, assistant coach Erin Weber, and head coach Meredith Bain. Now let's meet the Millers from Washburn High School. Kamani Johnson, Parker Staub, Lucia Van Dissen, Java Worley, Isabel Husted, Lily Kohlberg, assistant coach Mia Gutarts, head coach Kate Shaw. And now let's meet the Orioles from St. Louis Park High School. Anna Souls, Elsa Crow, Tessa Alley, Alice Rathy, Veronica Jones, Sophie Miller, Carly Otis, Isabella Lucas, Eve Suleman. Assistant coaches are Kiri Palmquist, Nissa Miller, Nicole Johnson, and Jason Lucas. Head coach is Dawn Thielen. And now let's meet the Trojans from Wayzata High School. Renata Bernini, Valentina Bernini, Gracie Soderquist, Rylan Higgins, Sophie Ditch, Maddie Johnson, Gabby Barsky, Ignatius Itura, Rashi Paraka, Ariana Rogani, and Sienna Sauter. Assistant coaches are Abby Christensen, Maddie Aaron, Georgie Macklem, and Jen Bartlett. Head coach is Carly Holden. Those are the gymnasts for today's Section 6 AA meet. Let's meet the judges for today's competition. Our meet referee is Michelle Holt.
Well, congratulations to all of the gymnasts and their teams. Good luck to them today. And we will take a break. We'll come back with our first rotation. We're starting with the vault next. 6AA Gymnastics on CCX.
For 90 years, Connection has been at the heart of everything they do at Topline Financial Credit Union. Their team is passionate about connecting with you to help you reach your financial dreams. For some, they're here for your first, like your first checking account, first car, or first home. For others, they're here for those next steps, whether it's remodeling your home, saving for retirement, or starting a small business. Become a Topline member and let them be a part of your big moments. Visit toplinecu.com because connected, we all do better. Federally insured by the NCUA, Equal Opportunity Lender.
John Jacobson, Debbie Rasmussen. We are back at Edina High School, ready for our first rotation tonight. Hopkins will be up on the vault. Hopkins today in their rotation: Vivian Kraling, Mia Sanchez, Marique McLean, Emma Tavernier, and Nia Simone Britt. If you look at the rotation for the top teams, Hopkins and Edina. Edina, Beam, and Hopkins floor, those are in the same rotation. And then Edina finishes in the last rotation. A total of 7 rotations all. We don't have a full 8 teams in this section anymore.
It is, nerves are definitely, we saw a little bit in warm-ups. You could tell Hopkins girls, they're overexcited. We have to find that balance where you take that energy and that adrenaline. Sometimes you have too much, you can overdo a vault. So they kind of have to find that balance, and we are on. Here we go.
Vivian Kraling, our first competition of the night. Again, 2 vaults. Took the top score of the 5 gymnasts, and of those 5 gymnasts, the top 4 are what counts toward the team score.
She started out there with a half-on, half-out vault. She has beautiful body position. Judges are going to be looking for straight arms, straight line from tips of your fingers down to your toes. Pointed toes have to be, no bent knees, and then the ever all-important landing. See their great body position. Wow, now on her second vault, she throws a half-on full off. That vault is going to be worth more, so she should score a little bit higher. She had great body position, tiny separation in the legs there on that twist, and a smaller step on this landing than the first one.
Her first vault scored an 8.375. We'll see how this one scores before Mia Sanchez goes.
She does that half-on. It has makes it all the way around, maybe not the controlled landing that she was working for, but when she does that pre-fight, that half-on is a full half-on. Judges will be looking for that as well.
Vivian's second vault, 8.45. And now Mia Sanchez.
Looks like Mia's doing a handspring full. She has great form on this vault, and again, we want straight lines. We want from the tips of your fingers. You'll see here she does that handspring, she blocks and does that full twist off. On this particular vault, judges are really going to be looking for, don't start that twist while your hands are back on the platform. You want to block and then get that twist in.
First vault an 8.6. Here's Mia's second vault.
Definitely nice landing, just a shuffle, I guess you could call it, and you can tell they're very happy about that one. Should score better than the first one. She had much more control of the landing. You see here, again, beautiful form. Just that teeny tiny left foot.
Second vault 8.55, so the first one just a little bit better. Marique McLean is up next for the Royals. Her high score in this event this year, an 8.8.
I'm going to say, John, seeing a vault not next to a brick wall, kind of fun to watch that. Usually during the meet, we're in smaller gyms, and I don't know if I could vault next to a big brick wall.
Marie's first vault.
She does a Yurchenko entrance, which is a round off. Then she does a half twist onto the vault. That is such a unique vault. We don't see that a lot. A lot of girls will do the Yurchenko, but they'll also, then do a back flip off. But you'll see here, she does the round off onto the vault and then does a half twist. There's the round off, half twist on, and a block off. Again, the landings are going to become super crucial when you have a meet that is this close. And she had a great vault, just a step, so she's going to want to block a little harder. So the back side of that vault, we call it floating. It wants to float into that crush pad so
And
they can have a good landing.
Excuse me, Deb. She does match her season high with that vault, 8.8. See if she can do a little better here on vault 2.
Again, great body position. Had a little bit bigger step on that landing. But this is such a fun, unique vault. We don't see it that often. So here's that round off, half twist, and then the block off. She has such great body position coming off of that vault. She's tight, her legs are together, and then she just that landing, but it looks like it's a good score.
Yeah, 8.95. She's excited about it. Her teammates are happy for her. Gets her season high. And it's just those little things, Deb, to get a season high here or there. And might tip the balance in the end of who wins. But we'll see. Lots to go yet. Emma Tavernier is up next.
Oh. She has a beautiful Sukahara vault, but it's almost, again, we talk about that energy. She had too much adrenaline going, too much energy, and she just over-rotated that vault. Unfortunately, that is quite a deduction, for the fall. It is a 5/10, but here's the beauty. She gets to do it again.
Right, that vault only an 8.65 with that tumble at the end. She has scored in the mid-9s this year, so certainly capable of that here.
She could almost lay that vault out. She's got so much power and strength. Sometimes piking that vault causes you to over-rotate that. So she just needs to calm down. Believe it or not, you hate to say slow up on your run, but she's almost too fast.
All right, vault 2 for Emma.
Okay, that one she does in the tuck position. She has great distance from that vault. She does take a big step on the back side, but again, beautiful vaults. You can tell she did calm down a bit. She's half twist, kind of almost an open tuck in that, where she doesn't tuck all the way. I'm just going to say it. We're hearing big shouts and crowds in the back. The Wayzata gymnast just scored huge on the bars.
Yeah, Maddie Johnson, they think, has a great chance of getting to state as an individual. It's tipped 9-4 on the bars. One gymnast left for Hopkins here, and one of the best in the state. 8.95, the second score for Emma Tavernier. And now Nia Simone Britt.
And can she vault? It has been fun watching her over all these years, and she has power, strength, form, and determination. She does the Yurchenko vault. Oh my stars, that was beautiful. She does the Yurchenko vault, which is that round up back handspring entry. Then she does a kind of somewhere between a layout and a pike. I'll be curious what they called. She reminds me of Cheney New. She could stick that and score really high. Here it is, beautiful form. Just the teeny tiniest of hop on that landing. I think it's still going to score really, really well. In a layout, you want to get that pike out of there, but look at this score. Holy cow.
A 9-6. Ryan Simone, who's gotten as high this season, is a 9.725.
All she needs to do is stick that landing, maybe take that pike out a little bit. I would love to see a 9.9. Oh, better body position on that, just a little bit bigger of a hop, but that's probably going to be one of the nicest vaults that we will see tonight and probably in state as well. That was beautiful.
It's been so much fun to watch her compete. This will be our last meet, being able to cover her, and it's just been so good for this Hopkins program these last few years and getting them to state and being a state contender herself as an individual. And it's going to score a little higher, I think, than her first vault. 9.65, so just a touch higher. 9.6, 9.65 on vault 2. And that concludes our first rotation. Good finish for Hopkins with Nia Simone Britt, their senior, finishing things off. We will take a timeout. Edina's first rotation, also on the vault, coming your way next on CCX.
For 90 years, Connection has been at the heart of everything they do at Topline Financial Credit Union. Their team is passionate about connecting with you to help you reach your financial dreams. For some, they're here for your first, like your first checking account, first car, or first home. For others, they're here for those next steps, whether it's remodeling your home, saving for retirement, or starting a small business. Become a Topline member and let them be a part of your big moments. Visit toplinecu.com, because connected, we all do better. Federally insured with the NCUA, Equal Opportunity Lender.
36.15, the team score for Hopkins as they completed their first rotation on the vault. And now here come the Edina Hornets. Elise Klein up first for Edina.
I am not sure that vault. We saw her warm up a half on full, and I am not sure here. It seems like she just feet got off and she just kind of does a half on. I don't believe that is her vault. I think that Beauty, again, we talked, she gets another vault. But sometimes when your feet are off and your run is off, that can cause things to be different. In warm-ups, we saw her do a half on full. There we go. Beautiful second vault. You know, that's got to be difficult. Your feet were off. You did your first vault. Didn't go well. Now you got to do another one. She was able to handle the pressure and do it beautifully. She has great position in that body when she's twisting off the vault.
Her first vault was a 7.95. We'll see where this one scores for Elise.
Really, really nice. Love the distance on that vault. Has a great landing.
And scores an 8.7, so much better on vault 2 for Elise. Lila Schwalen is up next.
Lila doing a beautiful Sukahara in the tuck position. Nice landing. Her shoulders are down a little bit. They'd like to see those up a little bit more. Just a slight deduction on that. But and watching Edina, they have their next 4 vaults, I think, are going to be in the Suk range here. You'll see just kind of over-rotated that, but was able to stand up, and that's important too.
Lila injured partway through the season, but has come back to compete in both vault and bars. Always good when you can fight through those injuries and come back and compete in the biggest meet of the year.
Yeah, and you're obviously well needed by your team too.
First vault scored an 8.875. Let's see what this one goes.
That one, less of a step. I think she had a little bit more distance. It probably is going to be pretty similar, but you hear she has a great half on, strong block. but just shoulders were down just a little bit. So I'll be interesting how they score this. I think the first one had a little bit more amplitude, but this one a lot more control.
Yep, and she scores a 9. So good start for Edina, an 8-7 and a 9. Eloise Anderson next, a senior all-arounder.
Ooh. She has a great souk. She just landed really, really low. I'm not sure if she just hung on that too much or didn't get the right height. Super strong going into that. It just seemed like when she was landing it, things just kind of collapsed here. You'll see this, the strength. Just wasn't able to hang on to the landing. The knee did go down. That is a 5/10 deduction. She does look like she's nursing a bad ankle, possibly. She is going to want to just get a bigger block and try not to land that vault so low.
Scored an 8-5, so try to stick that landing and get into the 9s here.
They're better. Shoulders were down a little bit. She won't get the deduction for the fall on this one and just that step backwards. You know, and Edina wants to keep as many of their vaults in the 9s because they're worth that. So that's definitely what they're wanting to. So you'll see here, she has such a strong pre-flight, good block. She almost starts to just anticipate that back flip sooner than she needs to. I think if she blocked a little harder, she would be able to have a little bit more time to land that vault. Still a nice job.
Yeah, not quite a 9, 8.9 for her second vault. Lizzie Reuter, is up next.
Beautiful Sukahara in the tuck position. Nice landing. Shoulders were great on that one. Just the big step back would be the majority of the deduction. And again, we're coming down to 10s here, so these landings are going to be crucial. You'll see here, really strong on the run. Beautiful half on, great block. Shoulders are up nice and high. Just needs to try to stick that landing.
First one earned her a 9.25 score.
Oh gosh, that one just didn't quite get the big strong block and wasn't able to rotate it all the way around. They're definitely going to keep the first score. Shoulders were low. She stepped off to the side, so definitely going to have that first one. Again, the front part of this vault is so strong. She just wasn't able to block hard enough, so her landing was a little bit low. But her first vault was really good.
We'll throw out that second one, just an 8-7. Ella Basili, the fifth and final gymnast for the Hornets. Sophomore all-rounder, been to state twice already as an 8th and 9th grader.
Wow, we watched her in warm-ups nail that with no step at all, and unfortunately, that's going to be quite a big deduction because she had that fall. She, again, so much energy. She's just ready to nail this vault, and she just over-rotates it, and there's no way to hold on to that.
8.65 with that fall.
I mean, for that big of a fall, that's still a pretty darn good. She just needs to take a breath, settle down, and do what she did in practice and just nail this landing. Here she goes. Oh. Looks like she's
more
okay.
disappointed
more
than hurt there, yeah.
Disappointed, definitely.
Maybe a little shook up too, but yeah.
I couldn't tell if when she blocked funny. Just here, super strong. She kind of was crooked going onto the vault, and yeah, very, very, oh gosh, that's sad whenever you see a gymnast, but it looks like she might have jammed something between her shoulder blades possibly when she hit that vault kind of crooked. And gymnastics is a tough sport. So let's take a look at this. You'll see here, she's just not all the way around. Oh, her front hand was at the front of that vault. I don't know if you saw that. You can see the handprint, actually. You want to be on top of that vaulting platform in the middle. So she barely got that first hand on there, which totally meant there was no, she didn't have the block that she's normally used to. But gymnasts have, watch here, watch the front hand. You'll see here in super slow motion, it's on the black part of the vault and not even in a position with her wrist that she's even going to be able to get a decent block off of that. And when she landed, she was kind of more crunched, and that can definitely, it goes to show you gymnast muscle memory. Even though she barely got the hand, the body just does what it thinks it's supposed to do, and sometimes that can be, kind of dangerous. But it looks like she did, hopefully she's okay.
Go off and get that looked at, because that can make a difference too if she's not able to compete in other events tonight. But hopefully Ella Basili will shake it up, have a rotation off before she has to compete again. That second vault just an 8.0, so the 8.65 will stick for her. We'll take a timeout. Rotation 3. We're back to looking at the Hopkins Royals next, as they will be up on the uneven bars. More 6AA gymnastics on CCX after this. Thank you to our supporting sponsor, Scott's Lawn Care, serving homes and businesses of their neighbors in the Twin Cities West Metro area. Scott's Lawn Care team offers services ranking from weekly maintenance to complete redesign. Also, Scott's Lawn Care offers snow plowing services for the smallest residential lots to large commercial projects as well. Thank you, Scott's Lawn Care, for being a supporting sponsor of CCX Media. There's our score. Hopkins slightly ahead of Hopkins slightly ahead of Edina through one rotation. Edina ending up 35.85, so 0.3 of a point behind the Royals through one rotation. Hopkins up next on the uneven bars, and leading off, Marique McLean.
Beautiful glide kick to start. I love her toe point and just her straight body position. She's doing rear uprises there. Casting into a long hang kip. Another one, and then a nice half twist. Wow, punch front dismount. The first time I saw her do that, I was like, whoa, it's so unique and different that you don't see in high school that often. That was a beautiful routine. Great start for Hopkins. She should set the tone to have some good scores. She may not have had the difficulty, but look at her form. Legs are straight, arms are straight. She does that half twist, front flip. Beautiful landing on that.
Aaliyah Jennings will be next. She's a gymnast who was injured much of the season. You can still see the wrap that she has on her left leg, left knee area, but excited to have her back. Competed the last couple of weeks, and athlete who can be a difference maker as far as her scores in the events that she can compete in or is competing in, including the uneven bars here.
And to not have her in the season, she's got some difficulties. She's got beautiful giants, and her layout flyaway is just floaty, as I like to say. So it's, she doesn't have the experience of routine after routine because she's been injured, but she is such a talented gymnast. I don't think it's really going to matter a whole lot.
Score of 7.9 for Marique McLean to lead it off, and now Aaliyah Jennings.
Beautiful kip, cast handstand, free hip, gorgeous. There's a release move, straddle catch, long hang kip. Watched her in warm-up struggle a little on those giants. Not this time. Beautiful. Stick this. Wow. Welcome back. That was a gorgeous routine. You know, when you watch, we get to watch the gymnasts warm up prior to them actually competing. And, you know, she overcasted, undercasted. So how fun to see her nail this routine. Beautiful cast handstand, nice giants. And here, this dismount, you can't do it better than that. Shoulders are up, arms are up, sticks that landing. Great routine. she's very happy.
Vivian Crayley will be next as they tally the score for Leah Jennings.
Can't tell if there's a little discrepancy.
I think the one judge is just taking a little bit longer, not that he's doing anything wrong, just a little more deliberate or taking her score. But it doesn't seem like there was a discrepancy there. 8.575 for Aaliyah Jennings. And now Vivian Crayley.
Beautiful kip to a straddle half turn kip, free hip. Getting ready for her high bar work. 2 long hang kips. Yeah, oh gosh, that was good. Again, beautiful giants into a nice stuck landing. One of the things gymnasts have to do is show a change of direction. Not all do, but it's part of the requirements. She did on the early side of that routine when she does the straddle into the half twist switch kip. So that's kind of a unique thing and different as well. You see here her giants, arms are straight, body straight, and again, look at, she lands with her hands overhead like she's just gonna stand that vault up, which is what she did. In the bars, the most important thing is to keep that routine moving. There can't be any stops, adjustment with your hands or grips. It's just one trick goes right into the next trick, right into the next. Along with those cast to handstands, we don't see it that often. I know they want to be right up on top of that bar when you cast up there, which is tough to do. You'll probably see that more in college than you will here. But anytime you can cast that handstand and be directly over the top, good score.
You can see in the background there, the judges are conferring now on the score for Vivian, so not posted yet.
They have to be within a certain, I think it's 3/10, or it used to be 5/10. I think it could be down to 3/10 now. And if there is that discrepancy, then they do have to kind of go back and see what one person gave.
8-7 for Vivian Crayley. That's a high score for her for the season. Now Emma Tavernier.
That was how you cast to a handstand. She is directly on top of the bar on. That was low bar. These giants are, you can't deduct a thing from those. Wow.
That was a really nice routine.
Beautiful routine. I know she'd like to get that vault back, but this was absolutely amazing.
But didn't carry it over into the bars,
Exactly.
right? Like, okay, that's behind.
Behind.
Come back and do this, and she nailed it.
I mean, if you watch these giants, there's no bend or anything, and that is just priceless in the world of MasterCard. It's priceless. It was a beautiful routine. Absolutely beautiful. Hopkins is having a bar.
Well, they're doing well here.
They're doing well. I'll be curious. We can't tell if the Edina girls are in the gym, or sometimes the coaches take the girls out of the gym so they don't get to see the energy and excitement, because you want to just, they need to recover from vault if they want to stay close to Hopkins, because Hopkins is having a day at the bars.
I don't see them, but you're making me right that they're out. Nia Simone Britt is next.
Starting
8-9
with
for
long
Emma
hand
Tavernier,
kicks.
excuse me.
She does a shoot over off the low bar. That's a lovely release move. She's getting ready for her giants. Free hip, beautiful handstand position. Wow. A toe on front off dismount. That was outstanding. I'm not sure if Hopkins could do better on the bars than they're doing right now. Beautiful bar routine, great unique dismount. You'll see here, she's going for, those are her giants, toes are pointed, free hip to handstand right on top of the bar. And this toe on front, just the teeny tiniest of steps on that landing. Nice job. Here again, so she goes forward, front flip. I don't know who was more excited, her coaches or teammates. Beautiful routine.
We'll see how this one scores for Nia. Her high score on the bars this year, 9-2.
Looks like they're having a bit of a conference and stuff too. You can kind of see her doing her hands, and there was maybe one handstand that wasn't directly on top of the bar. That can be a bit of a deduction, but like I said, it's very, I think the only girl I've seen cast on top was the Wyzetta, who did really well today. Had a beautiful cast to handstand right on top of that bar. But her free hip to handstand was perfect.
Well, I saw one score. I didn't see the other one flip around. Oh, there we go. Come on, keep flipping it. Where we are on the balcony, we can't see where the scores if they're not flipped all the way towards us. The crowd is on the other side, so it's most important for those people to see it. It's important for CCX to see the scores, right?
It is, and I was trying to give her some hand signals, like turn it around.
So one score's a 9-1-5. So again, a good finish for Nia Simone Britt. So Wyzetta is in this same rotation. And so we're going to take a look at Maddie Johnson. Maddie had a great uneven bars routine in her first rotation. Has a chance to go to state as an individual certainly bars with that routine. That score is definitely going to get her to state. But beam is another good event for her, a senior. And we're going to stay up in this rotation to watch her compete here on the balance beam. And fun to see her in one final meet. And the one senior on this Wyzetta team, a young Trojans team, and Maddie, their best chance to get an individual to the state meet here in 2026.
Well, and my guess is she will be there for sure on bars. I think it'd be wonderful to see her make it as an all-around. She is, battling. She's not at 100% health-wise, 92 maybe, but you would have never known on bars. So she wants to do well on this event. Oh, darn. Little bit of a fall. She's going to get some consoling from the coach. Not sure. she has, 10 or so seconds to get back on the bar. And I know the disappointment wanting to be able to make it in the all-around as well and stuff. But now she had a great bar routine. She just needs to try to get through the beam routine as best that she can without any more falls. Beautiful cartwheel sequence. She's so pretty to watch on the balance beam too. She's got great hands and beautiful feet work. There she does. Split jump into 3/4 split jump. Nice job. Every single beam routine has to have a full turn in it. It is way harder than it looks. Tiny little balance check on that. Getting ready for the dismount. We watched in warm up. She does back handspring to a full twist. Hardest part is knowing she did so well on bars and wanting to make it as an all-arounder too. Probably, you never know. It's gymnastics. Anything can happen. But here is the beautiful cartwheel sequence. She goes straight through cartwheel to cartwheel, no stopping. And then as we get ready for that dismount, this is great. It's a back handspring step out into full twist. Great, but look at the toe point in that. Very nice.
And I recovered from that early fall and finished out strong, and may not make it in beam, but be fun to watch her next weekend in the uneven bars.
You can tell she is like, I had it. And, the beam is the beam. We've seen it.
Fourth rotation up next. Edina on the uneven bars. More 6AA gymnastics on CCX after this.
CCX Media is the first place you go for local news and sports. But did you know you can sign up for those stories to go straight to your inbox on our website? Simply go to ccxmedia.org. Click on the subscribe button, and from there choose which notifications you want to receive. Then we'll send your favorite CCX Media news, sports, and city events straight to your inbox. Sign up now at ccxmedia.org.
Gymnast perhaps here at Edina watching today's meet. The Hornets and Hopkins vying for the team title. Hopkins finished up their team total now 70.425 after their uneven bar rotation, and now Edina Hornets. Up first for them, Aline Aspenson. She is an 8th grader.
And unfortunately, she wasn't able to hang on to that handstand, so they are starting their first girl up with a fall. They have a lot of talent. Watching them in warm-ups, they just need to settle down and put together 4 more amazing routines. That routine was absolutely beautiful with the exception of the missed handstand down there. Edina has a little bit of climbing to do if they want to stay in there. Hopkins had a nice bar routine, but you'll see here these giants again. Great form, beautiful position, and a nice floaty flyaway dismount. She seems very happy with that, even though there was, the fall in there. The kicker now is the next 4 girls up need to hit.
Elise Klein is up next.
And, Edina has quite a young team. There's, here she is, another 8th grader on here as well.
.8.175 for Aline Aspenson, and now Elise Klein.
She does a cast handstand pirouette, going into her free hip. Here's her release move. Nice job. Keep going. Long hang hip. Oops, sorry, some back rear uprises. And one more, and she should get that nice flyaway dismount. Unfortunately, I think she took an extra swing in there. Could be a small deduction, but she had great form throughout. And in warm-ups, she was struggling with those handstands on the low bar, so it was super fun to see that she was able to nail all that. So these are called rear uprises, and this is just a swing, and I think she was supposed to let go on that one. I'm not for sure, but it was a beautiful flyaway dismount to a lovely landing. There were no steps on that as well.
Ella Basile, we saw shaking up a little bit at the end of her vault. He is back competing, and she'll be up next here on the bars for Edina. So good to see her still in the lineup.
That's good. And again, you know, it's kind of like the Hopkins girl that did do the vault as best that she wanted to do, came back and did a beautiful bar routine. So in gymnastics, if you have a mistake, you need to try to get your mind back and say, well, that one's down. I'm going to go to my next routine. You can make up tens of points if you hit things, have great form, have great landings.
8.4 the score for Elise Klein.
Does a free hip back hip circle on that low bar after her kip. Beautiful cast to handstand. Great form on these giants. Wow, she definitely is back. That was a great layout tuck. Do you see the distance? We are actually standing on top when we're doing our color here. We're on top of kind of like a deck. That dismount had such incredible distance on it, which was fun to watch from up here. There she is, her giants, great form, straight arms. Look at the toe point, beautiful. And she just flies off that bar into a perfect stuck landing. She's probably going to be very happy with that score.
Two gymnasts still to come for Edina. Elise Anderson, Lila Schwalen.
Like I said, we talk about the pressure when the first gal up falls. You have to now hit all four of your routines. And so far, so good. There's that kip free hip back hip circle. Cast into those giant swings. She does a beautiful, wow, that dismount is so incredibly difficult. She kind of does a half pirouette into a flying, full twisting front flip off. You'll see here again, you know, cast into those handstands, not quite on top of the bar. Little separation, but watch this. She twists and does a She does a half twist and does a full twist. That is a blind landing, and which makes that dismount even more difficult. She has no idea until she feels her feet planted on the ground that they are actually on the mat. I think what's been fun over the last couple of years is to see the unique dismounts. We're not just seeing the layout flyaways or the double tuck flyaways. We got a toe on front and a half twist regular front flip, let alone throw a full twist on that too. They should be happy with that.
Ella Basile scored an 8.5. We didn't give her a score. Now Eloise Anderson's score being tallied before Lila Schwalen comes and completes the rotation for the Hornets. Hopkins' team score, I said it was in the 70s, actually 71.525 through two rotations. So their bar scored 35.375.
We are, look like we're going to have another little judges. In this type of gymnastics meet, you want to make sure that you and both judges are on the same page. When we go to the state meet, we have 2 judges on each event now. You go to the state meet, there's 4. And then before the state meet even starts, there's a head judge. So you'll start on the vault. She will judge the vault. Then they go to the bars before she will do that. So before every single team starts, that head judge ends up judging as well too, just to make sure that everyone's kind of on the same page. And you can see now the head judge, chief judge, I guess they would call it. She's over there kind of helping with some scores possibly.
Top score so far for Edina, 9.075 for Eloise Anderson. And now again, Ragnar Schwalen.
Beautiful shoot over that low bar. Nice release move. She does free hip, back hip circle. Does a toe on with a little bit of a break there. Gorgeous giants. Again, I love when I watch these, and the toe point is exceptional. Nice double back flyaway. Just a small step on that landing. Really good routine. You see here she casts. She does those giants. Really great form. And here she's going to do a double back flyaway. Nice job. Just a little low on that landing, but that is one of the most difficult dismounts that we will see. I think we've only seen one other one yet today in that double flyaway. That should be a good score for Edina.
Strong finish for them. We had another score in the 9s. The little 10th is important today.
It is, and I believe they go to the beam next.
Yeah, beam will be next.
It'll be interesting to see what the final score for Edina on bars is. Did they gain some ground and the lead has diminished a little? Here we are watching Wayzata back on floor. This is their final competitor. Beautiful round off 1.5 full twist. I know she wants to put beam out of her mind, and so far so good. That's a gorgeous double twisting handstand into a full twisting wolf jump. Taking some time to enjoy the music. Switch leap, full twisting tuck jump. Setting up the next tumbling pass. Round off 2 back handsprings and a back tuck. You know, when we watch her tumble, that back tuck that she does is as high as she is tall. Judges like to see that. Love that she has such a big smile on her face, along with the great bar score. She has a chance to do well on floors. Hopefully we'll get to that. Here she is, final tumbling pass. Team is cheering in the background. Handspring layout front. Love it.
Maddie Johnson of Wayzata finishing up on the floor exercise. The Trojans coming to congratulate her. They have completed now 3 of their 4 rotations. Only vault left to go for Wayzata. Well, that concludes this rotation. We'll be back up. Rotation 5 overall in the meet coming up. So we continue with our coverage of 6AA Gymnastics on CCX.
For For 90 years, Connection has been at the heart of everything they do at Topline Financial Credit Union. Their team is passionate about connecting with you to help you reach your financial dreams. For some, they're here for your first, like your first checking account, first car, or first home. For others, they're here for those next steps, whether it's remodeling your home, saving for retirement, or starting a small business. Become a Topline member and let them be a part of your big moments. Visit toplinecu.com because connected, we all do better. Federally insured with the NCUA, Equal Opportunity Lender.
We continue with our coverage of 6AA Gymnastics. John Jacobson and Debbie Rasmussen at Edina High School. Hopkins up on the balance beam. Mia Sanchez leading it off for the Royals.
This is such a crucial event in the gymnastics meet. Edina and Hopkins are following what they call Olympic rotation, vault, bars, beam, floor. She is starting out really well. Good split leap into three-quarter twisting tuck jump. On the beam, every bobble, wobble, fall, everything counts. This is such a crucial event when teams are so close. She does that nice cartwheel. Looks like she's getting ready. So she repeated that sequence because she's supposed to swing that foot through and go directly into the roundup, which she didn't do. So by repeating it, she doesn't lose any of those connections. Does a beautiful switch split leap into a back flip off the side. That is a good connection. You want your first girl up on the balance beam to be confident and solid, and she had both of those qualities. A couple of balance checks and smart enough to know to repeat that. Here's her switch leap, half or quarter twist right into the tuck jump, and no movement on that landing. Really, really nice start for Hopkins.
And, based on scores, their weakest event is is on even bars. They actually extended their lead just a little bit over Edina through both teams' bar routines. Hopkins right now at 71.525, and Edina, and now 3/4 of a point behind them at 70.775. 3/4 of a point, it doesn't sound like much. It's a lot.
In gymnastics, it's a lot because they are judged by half a tenth, a tenth. I mean, that's why we say every routine, every bobble, wobble, and stuck landing becomes important.
Mia Sanchez scored an 8.75. That matches her season high. Now Vivian Kraling. Now these last four gymnasts all have scored in the nines this year. So, barring a fall for any one of them, they could do that again today.
Technically, I don't know if they'll give her that connection. She did put her foot down, but she didn't fall or wobble, and she continued it with arm movements. Great wolf jump into twisting jump there.
You can lose something on the connections, right, or lack of.
Right. They do a lot of that. Switch leap to a quarter jump to a back flip off the side, so that's a good connection too. I mean, they might give it to her. You just could kind of tell that it was a little bit of a disconnect, but she continued. You see here she goes cartwheel, and that foot's supposed to swing all the way through, which it kind of does. So she might get the connection. Here's that beautiful switch leap, straddle jump, back flip off the sides. Really nice routine for her. So far, Hopkins has 2 up and 2 stuck.
Leah Jennings, Emma Tavernier, and Nia Simone Britt still to come here for the Royals. And a 9.1 score for Vivian Kraling. So we mentioned they had 4 girls capable of scoring in the 9, starting with Vivian, and she does so. Now Leah Jennings.
Really nice, solid full turn. Nice twisting jump, 3/4 twisting wolf jump there. Good job. Getting ready for tumbling sequence. 2 continuous back walkovers, and I love the form on those. She is just strong, confident, solid. Split jump into wolf jump. Getting ready for what looks to be a dismount here. Back handspring, full twist in a tuck position. Boy, Hopkins is on fire. They are looking strong. That was a beautiful, beautiful routine. It's hard to believe that she's missed part of the season. She is happy, happy. You see, this is just beautiful. Look at the form, the stretched legs, the toe point, straight arms, and it's just flowing one back walk over right into the next. Ends that position like, yep, I got this. Here's that back handspring, walk out into the full twisting tuck. Teeniest of step on that landing. Really, really nice job. Great routine.
3 up, 3 down, right, Deb?
Yeah.
No falls.
No falls.
Emma Tavernier, Nia Simone Britt now to follow.
And as a coach, you cannot ask for more from your athletes than this. It is just fun to watch a team get on a roll and just routine after routine, and scores should climb.
Leah Jennings, a season high 9.275.
Do you see how that foot swings all the way through before she plants it? And that's what they're looking for. Really graceful in her arm movements, her hands. Everything is choreographed down to the toe point. Wow.
It's not an easy leap.
Nope.
Stuck it.
She stuck it, and the smile on her face when she stuck it,
Oh.
pretty incredible too. Just the tiniest of balance checks there. Look at that grin. She's like, ooh, very good. Hangs on to it. Love she added some little dance elements in there to hide that. One thing about her jumps, they are at full hip level and 180-degree split. Love this back. Wow. That was an incredible beam routine. It was beautiful. Just some bounce checks there, but her leaps and jumps were so gorgeous in that standing back flip. Watch this, her face when she hits this. Look at that. She is grinning ear to ear. Beautiful. Those straddle jumps too are just lovely. I mean, this routine is going to score very well. She does that handstand into full twist. Teeniest step on that left foot. She should be very, very happy with that routine.
Coaches have to be happy. Megan Tunks, Emily Hogan, Delaney Ferns all here today, and got their team locked in.
Yeah, they at this point seem kind of unstoppable. They're having the meat of their season, which is exactly what you want at these meets to get you into.
So no falls there for Emma, but she had some balance checks that you mentioned, and those did nick her score a little bit, so not quite in the 9s for her. Nia Simone Britt is up next. 8.875 for Emma.
Well, I'm going to give my opinion.
Deb shot that. Should have been higher.
Should have been higher.
Nia's high score, 9.475 on the beam today. Her first fall on beam.
Aerial cartwheel is a extremely difficult move. We've seen her that last meet we were at. She just nailed it during that. But it's a tough, she's doing a cartwheel with no hands from a standing position. Switch leap, and I believe she does a back tuck as well. Nice job, super solid. Doing a round off layout dismount. Oh, she should still get a pretty decent score. There was a lot of difficulty. I don't know if she'll get in the 9. She could, because the difficulty was so high. Other than the fall, that was a beautiful routine. Just a beautiful routine. She, along with, was in the hunt for that all-around win and stuff too.
Probably still is.
Yes.
This won't score.
Here is that backflip.
In the 9, but should still be in the high 8s.
Solid and beautiful round off layout dismount, and she's just fighting so hard for that landing. It is balance beam. That's what we say. This is probably the most, to me, and when I was competing, it was my best event, but it is the most stressful and difficult.
Yeah, not quite upper 9s. 8.425 for Simone Britt on that routine. So the fall hurt and a couple other deductions.
It's hard.
Overall, that's a good rotation for Hopkins.
Very good rotation for Hopkins. They were almost 5 for 5 in the routine that they had the most difficulty in it. So, I still think they're going to have a nice team score.
We'll take a break, come back. Next rotation 6. Both Hopkins and Edina and Whiteside competing in this rotation next on CCX.
CCX Media is the first place you go for local news and sports. But did you know you can sign up for those stories to go straight to your inbox on our website? Simply go to ccxmedia.org. Click on the subscribe button, and from there choose which notifications you want to receive. Then we'll send your favorite CCX Media news, sports, and city events straight to your inbox. Sign up now at ccxmedia.org.
There are our scores through 5 total rotations. Now this rotation, Edina beam and Hopkins floor will be going simultaneously. We'll do our best to cover both teams. Hopkins right now through their 3 events, 107.525. They're in pretty good position going into their final event here, floor exercise, as we get the beam started for Edina, as they'll start out with Eloise Anderson, Mia Sanchez, the first floor competitor for Hopkins. Deb, go.
I know, this is, we got first tumbling pass, round off, full twist, beautiful. We're over on the balance beam. I guess the thing to look for, we got this beautiful split screen, is we're looking for Edina to be solid on the balance beam as far as balance checks and wobbles. They had a great warm-up, what we saw so far. And Hopkins is just always fun to watch on the floor. Tumbling past their punch front, forward roll into that cartwheel. Nice job. I think for Edina, it's going to be nice to not have to see Hopkins compete. They're going to be so busy concentrating on that. Can take a little bit of the pressure off. But it is always tough to end on the balance beam. Beautiful start for Edina. That was a gorgeous gainer pike flip off the back end. Getting ready for her third and final tumbling pass here for Hopkins. Round off, back handspring back layout. She was like a pencil. There was no bend in her body there. Nice job.
getting back to Eloise Anderson, a senior all-rounder, she likes to start on the beam and help her team kind of set the tone, right? And she did a good job as we see Mia Sanchez wrapping up on the floor for Hopkins.
And that is so true. And, you know, the coaches say, I want her in that first spot. And she is comfortable in that. Here are the tumbling passes. You'll see she goes round out full twist. She has there, it's called a sting mat. There's no deduction for it. It just kind of helps save the athlete's ankles. We're going to go into our second pass. She does punch front dive roll right into the cartwheel. One thing I love is every time her foot leaves the floor, it is pointed. Judges are looking for that. And there was that beautiful layout flyaway, or layout backflip. We are number 2 gymnast for Edina up on the balance beam, and she so far is having a great start.
An 8.75 score for Mia Sanchez. Eloise Anderson started at 9.075, so a great start for them. Elise Klein up for the Hornets right now, and Leah Jennings on the floor for Hopkins.
You know, so far with the Edina beam, you're just noticing that they're just steady and don't have a lot of the balance checks. There we go, 3/4 twisting chuck jump right into that backflip. Number 2 for Edina, very nice. Now we're just gonna sit back and have some fun. I love her energy and her dance. She's really working it, getting the crowd into things. Look at how much fun she's having. We're going for our second tumbling pass. She does front handspring walkout, cartwheel, back handspring, beautiful.
Leah Jennings, top score in this event this year, 9.05.
Full twisting straddle jump, full twisting wolf jump. A little bit of moonwalk there with Mr. Michael Jackson. We're getting ready for the third and final tumbling pass. Round up back handspring. There's the aerial front to a low portion of the floor, and just again having an incredible time. Look at that smile, very fun.
Leah Jennings, second gymnast up for Hopkins. Elise Klein, an 8.875 for Edina on the beam.
Beautiful opening tumbling pass there, and here is that handspring walkout, round up back handspring walkout. And round up 2 back handsprings. Probably doesn't have the difficulty that she's used to because of the injury, but everything she did was great.
Harlan Williams, her lone event today, here the balance beam. Sophomore, and been an all-rounder, but earned a spot on the beam squad, a consistent scorer in this event for the Hornets, and that's what you want, right? Somebody can be consistent, no falls for her yet in this routine.
Beautiful cartwheel round off, and if we can take a look possibly in replay, she almost missed one. She landed like on the side of her foot. And to have beam be your only event, you must be just a rock star on this event for the coaches to say, we're going to put you in this today. She's in the 3rd spot. Again, trying to hang on with the consistency that they've got going so far. She does a full twisting wolf jump into a front flip off the beam. Just like Hopkins, Edina's on fire on the balance beam.
Leah Jennings scored an 8.825 on the floor. Now Vivian Kraling for the Royals.
She opened up with a handspring layout full twist, a front handspring. Beautiful. You want to make sure that those jumps and leaps that you're adding those twisting to are fully around in the full twist for Jour. And on top of that, you want them to be at hip height or higher. Gorgeous. Round off 1.5 twist. Just enjoying the music, the choreography. She's taking a moment to slow things down a little bit. Get ready for The final tumbling pass. Round up back handspring full twist. The height on that was awesome.
Lizzie Reuter, meanwhile, next up for Edina on the beam.
Just getting ready for her finishing part of her routine on the floor. I'm watching Edina's beam routine, and they are just graceful, I think is the best way to put it. You can tell they're so thoughtful from every angle of every toe point, arms, hands, everything. Beautiful leaps. We can their switch leap into 3/4 twisting wolf jump.
Harlow Williams had an 8.55. Lizzie Reuter getting ready for the
Just
dismount.
solid back walk over, back handspring. You can tell they practice a lot because they don't have the balance checks. Two beautiful split leaps. Again, they were done in 180. The rotation was completely half twist, and there was no bobbles on that. Two gorgeous wolf jumps. Judges might want to see those a little tucked in there as she gets ready for the dismount. Beautiful full twisting front flip. Wow. As is Hopkins, Edina's on fire. On Hopkins here, we opened up with a 1.5 twist. She was almost so high that she could have done a double. She just kind of floated out of that. Second tumbling pass, layout, punch front into pike punch front. Beautiful form.
Vivian Kraling had a 9.4, by the way, the previous floor routine. It's a really good score for the Royals.
Beautiful score. In watching all the dance elements, again, full split, 360 turn. They can't land those any short, as you could tell, beautifully done there. And again, above hip level as she gets ready for the final tumbling pass. Round up back handspring full twist. That was done in an open body. She didn't even have to pike to get into it. It was just super straight.
Well, the silly last up for Hopkins. Good round of applause for Emma Tavernier finishing up on the floor. Lizzie Reuter had a 9.05, so 2 scores in the 9s, 1 upper 8s, 1 mid-8 for Harlow Williams. Well, Basili, the final athlete here.
She's just a quick gymnast too. It just goes one into one into one. Swings that through, hits that beautiful round off in a stand-up. Here's our tumbling passes. Watch this. She does 1.5. Almost over-rotated, super high. I love that open body layout to a pike. And here's round off back handspring, full twist. Wonderful.
Ella able to hang on there in the beam.
Just by a couple of baby toes there. Beautiful. Well, Edina had definitely probably the beam meet of their life. Will it be enough? I don't know, but it was awesome.
Maya Simone Britz will be the final gymnast in this rotation. Complete things for Hopkins for the day. This is their final athlete competing in the meet. They're working on the score for Emma Tavernier.
And Hopkins has put up some pretty massive scores on the floor. Not sure if Edina is going to be able to catch them, because we know that Maya Simone can definitely hit, mid-9s easily. She is a powerhouse tumbler.
Well, they posted the score for Emma. We didn't see it here, so now right into Maya Simone Britt's floor routine.
Wow. She opens up with a round up back handspring double tuck and just nailed the landing on that one. Gonna have a lot of fun with the choreography on this one. Those were full split, hip level, complete turn all the way around. Just having so much fun as she gets ready. Her final middle tumbling pass, handspring, lay out front. Double turn. Now we're gonna see some fun as she gets ready for that third and final tumbling pass heading into the corner. Wow, round off 1.5 or a half twist into a punch front. Again, you could walk underneath. That was so high. Little Thomas Flair there. Haven't seen that in a while. Just a beautiful, beautiful routine for Anaya Simone. That's gonna be a big score. That is going to be a big score.
Great finish for the Royals. They celebrate Naya's routine and maybe pre-celebrating another section title. They finished strong here on the floor.
I mean, her tumbling passes are just the height, the form, everything is absolutely done to perfection. She has landings were all good. Little hop on that last one, but it was so high. I don't think it's going to, be that big of a deduction. And the double back, first one that we've seen tonight, and that she nailed. That was a beautiful landing for her.
And Ella Basili, going back to the beam finish with a 9.05. So as we mentioned, Edina very solid on the beam. May have picked up a little bit on Hopkins, and it's going to be close. It's all going to come down to their floor routine.
So it does come down to the last event. I'm thinking Hopkins has enough, but, we're in the sport of gymnastics and anything can happen.
Well, I didn't see a score posted for either of the last two gymnasts on floor exercise. They never flipped us. Oh, no, they're coming up with 9. Here we go. Hang on just a moment.
Okay.
For Anaya Simone, we got
9.45.
9.45 from one of the judges. And I can only see one score, but going to be in the 9.4s. And a good finish for Hopkins. May get them to another state title, another section title, and on to state. We'll take a break. We'll come back. Final rotation, Edina. We'll wrap things up on the floor exercise next.
CCX Media is the first place you go for local news and sports. But did you know you can sign up for those stories to go straight to your inbox on our website? Simply go to ccxmedia.org. Click on the subscribe button, and from there choose which notifications you want to receive. Then we'll send your favorite CCX Media news, sports, and city events straight to your inbox. Sign up now at ccxmedia.org.
We have our final rotation of the afternoon. The floor exercise for the Edina Hornets. They look to beat Hopkins here. They're going to need an outstanding 4 scores in the floor to be able to do that. Ellen DeRay will lead things off. Her only event is the floor exercise.
She had a great warm-up, but she looked good and strong. It is tough to be sitting all afternoon, and then here you are, the last event, and you're the first one up. It sounds like she can handle the pressure, no problem. Round that back handspring, 1.5 twist. That's a really strong open. Switch sleep into 2 full twisting jumps. punch front. A little short on that last one. Had to take a step back. Judges would like you to take a step forward. Comes the fun part of a routine as she just takes a moment, catches her breath. Beautiful twisting wolf jump, tuck jump. Heads into the corner for that loud stumbling pass. Round up 2 back handsprings into a really nice layout. Really good start. Nice routine. Like you said, it's kind of tough to be the one that has been sitting around for the last 2 hours and comes in and starts out on floor. She did a nice job.
Good start for Ellen DeRay. Look at part of her routine again.
She opens with that 1.5 twist here. She does 2 front fronts, just a tiny bit shy of that, but this was beautiful. Round up 2 back handsprings into a super straight layout. So they should be happy with that opening routine for her.
Elise Klein will be next.
Edina's going to need some scores in the 9s.
They're going to have to be well in the 9s.
Yeah.
8-2 there for Ellen DeRay, now Elise Klein.
Beautiful full twisting wolf jump. It's ready for that first pass. Layout, front flip to punch front. Switch leap into full twisting straddle jump. Setting up for that second tumbling pass. Front handspring layout front, no problem with that. Great height, good body position. Tell, taking a minute to slow down, grab her breath. It's a double full turn. 2 full twisting jumps. And again, we always want to make sure those are completely around before your feet land. You'll get a deduction. If they're not, hers were good. Beautiful full twisting layout front to a dive roll. And that's what she ends with. Nice routine. Real strong for Edina. That was good.
Elise Klein, just an 8th grader all around her. Got a bright future ahead of her and a good floor routine. Look at part of that again.
She does a front handspring layout front punch front. She tumbles forward like she tumbles backwards. That was gorgeous. And there she is, a layout punch front with a full twist. Awesome. Loved it.
We've been following today's meets, the live scores on Score Flippers, and Hopkins has posted a team score of 144.375, meaning Edina would need 37.55 in the floor here. That would be, they'd have to be a 9.4 to average that, and they're not going to be able to get to that. 9-1 score for Elise Klein. Here's Eloise Anderson.
Eloise has 2 sting mats out there, which she can do, and she does a lot of twisting in the front flip realm as well. Really nice. Round up back handspring, 1.5 twist, lands blind, does it great. Switch lip into straddle jump. Full extension on those. having some fun as she gets ready. Nice smile there, heads into the corner. Here comes her next tumbling pass. Full twist, dive roll. Able to land that very well. Nice 1.5 twist into full twisting tuck jump. Good connection, good combination. Round up back handspring, full twist for her third pass, and a nice bow for the ending. That was a great routine. Some girls open with that back full twist, and she ends with it.
Senior who started the team off on what was a really good balance beam routine. It's just that Hopkins has been a little bit better in each event, and those tenths of points add up.
They add up, you know.
And they finish very strong on the floor.
Yes,
at Hopkins.
And they have the talent, and you know, Edina, kind of wildly, we saw them struggle on the vault, which isn't normally, you know, you worry that they'll struggle on the balance beam. They were rock solid on the balance beam. I think they would like to get those vaults back. Probably not the team score that they're used to getting on the vault, but I love the fight that they have. They have not given up, and they are performing strong. And so we just watched them on the balance beam be stellar, and so far on the floor here, they're doing well too.
Eloise Anderson, 8.875, and now Ella Basili.
Oh, beautiful punch front full twist into the punch front. I thought she was going to save it. She was almost there. She gets ready for, it's going to be her second tumbling pass, taking some time to slow things down, work on the floor, which is a requirement. Punch front, pike front. Full twisting wolf jump, that's a tough move, and she did it, 360, landed it. It's that last tumbling pass. Round up two back handspring into a gorgeous layout. Kind of like their balance beam routines, every beat of the music is choreographed. I don't know who does their choreography, but keep doing it because it is awesome. So here she just barely misses that. She does a full twisting punch front into front flip. Here is front flip. And lastly, she goes round up two back handspring. Body position on that was exceptional. Gives us a fun, nice ending position.
Lizzie Ruder will be the final gymnast to compete for Edina today. Hornets will finish as section runners-up.
It's crazy how towards the end of the meet it gets very quiet in here. Again, if you notice the choreography, every beat of the music is accounted for, and that is kudos to whoever choreographs. It's very fun to watch.
Ella Basili, 8.8.
Beautiful, full twisting punch front into front and lands that with no problem. Just a walk in the park. Full twisting straddle jump, full twisting wolf jump. There's her leaps. Beautiful. Nice connections on those. I think she's having fun out there. round off 2 back handspring into a beautiful layout. Smiles into the corner. Last tumbling pass. She's dancing all the way to the end. I love that. Punch front walk off. Walk out to round off back handspring tuck. I love their floor routines. They are fabulous, choreographed to every beat of the music.
Lizzie Reuter, first year in high school gymnastics, coming out of club gymnastics, and finishes his meet up not an all-rounder, has a chance perhaps to get to state individually in this event, depending on this score, as we look at part of Lizzie's routine.
She is a solid tumbler. She tumbles forward and backwards. She showed twisting elements. And what judges are looking for sometimes is that last element needs to be the highest of the 3 elements. And in her first tumbling pass, it was awesome. Just realizing the camera's there. You did a good job. You should be proud. I don't think Edina could have done any better on the floor. You know, it might be having Jennings healthy again that help Hopkins kind of, you know, step away with it and stuff. They have a very strong team.
Well, and their first 4 beam routines were good. We saw Nia Simone Britt fell, but their other beam routines were good. That helped extend their lead a little bit, and so I think a combination, they were just really good overall. Right?
Yeah. I mean, it's pretty amazing when your best girl on beam can fall and you can still win the event. That shows you the depth that the Hopkins teams does have.
Lizzie Reuter scored a 9.1. And so we will take a break. We'll come back. Our team scores up next, and awards as we wrap up our coverage of the 6AA Gymnastics Championship from Edina High School. More on CCX after this.
CCX Media is the first place you go for local news and sports. But did you know you can sign up for those stories to go straight to your inbox on our website? Simply go to ccxmedia.org. Click on the subscribe button, and from there choose which notifications you want to receive. Then we'll send your favorite CCX Media news, sports, and city events straight to your inbox. Sign up now at ccxmedia.org.
Awards time here at Edina High School. The all-around champion, Parker Staub of Minneapolis Washburn. Congratulations to her, one of the 3 all-rounders to qualify for state, along with 2 Hopkins girls, Emma Tavernier and Nia Simone Britt. And the final team results for today, Hopkins winning by nearly 2 points, 144.375, easily their highest score of the year. Edina had a good meet too, just not as good as Hopkins, 142.650. St. Louis Park third, Wayzata happy with their 139.9 score. I saw their coaches after the meet before we came back up, and happy with that 131.9. Washburn with the all-around champion, as I mentioned, Parker Staub finishing 5th, and Roosevelt South 6th, and the Camden Edison North team finishing 7th out of 7 teams. The team trophies are coming up next. Congratulations to vault champion Nia Simone Britt, also won the floor exercise. Maddie Johnson of Wayzata won the uneven bars. And Aaliyah Jennings, how about that? We talked about her coming back from injury late in the season. Won the balance beam today with a 9.275.
And I think that was just what Hopkins needed to really edge over Edina, was to have her back in that lineup. She was strong. Her beam routine was beautiful. And I'm excited that she's healthy and back, and we're looking forward to see what Hopkins will do when they take to the state floor. But congratulations to her for coming back, and to the Hopkins team. But how exciting for Maddie to win bars from Wayzata. She had an outstanding bar routine, so I'm excited for her as well.
Maddie Aaron won Assistant Coach of the Year. She's on the Wayzata squad, won the Section Assistant Coach of the Year. And Crystal Porter, Minneapolis Camden Edison North, wins Head Coach of the Year in the section. Edina now coming up, and they will get their runner-up medals and eventually their trophy. And I'm sure disappointed today. I don't know. Yes, there were things they could have done a little better. I don't think they were going to make up the almost 2 points that they lost. I think Hopkins was just that good today, and so
they
had a good team score overall. They finished a section runner-up.
Yep, and they should be very proud of themselves. And like I said, I don't think the vault went as good as they were hoping that it would go. But again, you're right. I don't think that would have, had they done, vault at a normal without some of the bobbles and falls, I still don't think they would have been able to catch Hopkins. And, Hopkins was just solid today. I mean, congratulations to a well-coached team and just a incredible group of young ladies.
So they will go on to the state team competition next week as they celebrate their team championship here. The state meet next Friday and Saturday, February 20th and 21st at the Roy Wilkins Auditorium in St. Paul. The team competition on Friday, Class A in the afternoon, Double A in the evening. And for the individual competition, Class A in the afternoon on Saturday, and Double A competition Saturday the 21st starting at 6 p.m. at Roy Wilkins Auditorium. And you can see how happy the Royals are. I mean, knew they were going to be in contention, had a shot at winning this today, but to be able to do as well as they did today, left everything out there. Solid meets for Leah Jennings. Vivian Crayley, I thought, was outstanding, too. And, of course, Nia Simone Britt winning 2 of the individual events as well. And there they go.
And there
team
they go.
champs.
And you see the emotion, especially in Nia Simone. She is a senior this year. We've been watching her for years, and it's been fun to see her develop into this incredible gymnast. Even with that fall on the balance beam, she still takes second in the competition and for the all-around and stuff like that. So, and you can just see kind of overcome. It's tough when you're a senior. This is your last section meet. You're getting ready for your final and last meet of your high school career. I hope they all go on to compete for colleges of their choice and be as successful there as they were in high school.
Deb, it's been another fun year. Thanks for being with us again. Neighborhood Sports Network, for people who want to watch the state meet, can sign up to that to watch any of the individual or state meet or both next weekend at Roy Wilkins Auditorium. But thanks to all of our crew. They have been here since early this morning setting up. Thanks to the folks here at Edina High School for their help, and to all of our crew. And for you, Deb, good to see you again.
Good to see you.
Congratulations
and for you,
on another good season.
John,
we'll do it again next year, right?
We'll do it again next year.
Year 35?
Oh.
My goodness.
Yes, I think it is. And
36.
I love the section meets, so I'm glad the last couple years we've been able to hop on the section meets and stuff and just have had a blast with CCX Sports, and congratulations to Hopkins.
Yeah, their 4th consecutive section title. They'll head back to the state meet next weekend in St. Paul. Oh, that will do it for our coverage. I'm John Jacobson. Thanks for tuning in for our coverage today of the 6AA Gymnastics Championships for 2026. And goodbye from Edina.